Hello everyone, I hope everyone is well. For this Multicultural Book Award assignment, I will be talking about the National Jewish Book Awards. The National Jewish Book Awards are sponsored by the Jewish Book Council, or JBC. So first, some information on the Jewish Book Council. The JBC was founded in 1944, and according to their website, it is, quote, the longest-running organization devoted exclusively to the support and celebration of Jewish literature. So when discussing the mission and purpose, the JBC explains that they strive to bring people together for meaningful discussions around Jewish life, identity, and culture. Jewish learning embodied in the printed word has played a crucial role in the development and strengthening of Jewish communities throughout the world. So a little bit more on their mission. The JBC included a PDF of their 2020 submission guidelines, and they had some important points about their mission. So here is a few. To promote the reading, writing, publishing, and distribution of quality books of Jewish content in English, to serve as the National Resource Center for information about the American Jewish literary scene, to serve as the coordinating body of Jewish literary activity in North America in both general and Jewish venues, and lastly, to serve as the North American representative of Jewish literature. And here I've included a link to the PDF for those of you who would like to take a closer look at their submission guidelines and any more information they have on that. And I've also included a link to their website, and they have even more information about their submission processes and guidelines. So on to discussing the award history. The National Jewish Book Awards was inaugurated in 1950, and as I said before, it is also the longest-running North American awards program of its kind. The JBC emphasizes that the awards are intended to recognize authors and encourage reading of outstanding English language books of Jewish interest. So the awards are presented in over 18 categories. Some of 2019's categories included Jewish Book of the Year, Biography, Poetry, and even Young Adult Literature. If you want to see more of their amazing categories, I've included this link to take so you can take a look at past winners over the years. So the winning authors are also celebrated at an annual gala dinner and ceremony during the year following publications of the books. The next awards will be held in New York City in March of 2021. This will obviously depend on COVID, I'm sure. There are many past notable winners, and I've listed a few here that maybe you all might be familiar with. The National Jewish Book Awards are currently operating, and right now they are in a reviewing process for the winners. According to their website, submissions were open June 24th, 2020, and they ran until closing on September 30th. I was excited to see that on January 12th, 2021, the awardees will be announced, so that's not too far away at all. Here I've included a screenshot from their 2020 guidelines to give you an idea of how they are currently operating submissions. Like so many other publications and awards, they too were impacted by COVID-19, and they asked publishers to send digital copies of their submissions. I can only imagine the difficulty of that process and what an adjustment it must have been. This PDF also has information on entry rules, definitions of award categories, and the current book council. So I spent a lot of time trying to find where to secure the National Jewish Book Awards medallion for library display purposes, but I couldn't find anywhere on their website or link sites to the Jewish Book Council's information that explained how to do so. But I did find a page that explained how people can support the JBC, which included a donation section as well as membership levels, which I've included here below. There were so many notable authors and books to choose from on the JBC's website, but I attempted to choose three to discuss that would be most beneficial in a library, particularly in representations of Jewish life, identity, and culture. So, the first book I chose to touch on is America's Jewish Women by Pamela S. Nadell. It was published in 2019 and it received the National Jewish Book Award in 2019 under the category Jewish Book of the Year. So, a little summary about the book that I found on W.W. Norton and Company's website. Pamela S. Nadell weaves together the complex story of Jewish women in America, recounting how Jewish women have been at the forefront of social, economic, and political causes for centuries. Nadell shows them fighting for suffrage, labor unions, civil rights, feminism, and religious rights, shaping a distinctly Jewish American identity. So I haven't read this book myself, but based on reviews I looked at on Goodreads and other blogs, I think it gives a substantial and effective overview, rich in historical insight of Jewish culture, specifically Jewish women. This book stood out to me because it was specifically about Jewish women, and I feel that some multicultural libraries and collections may not have many materials on this marginalized culture, particularly in American Jewish studies and women's history. So I know this book was published a while ago, but I really like it, so I wanted to include it. I chose Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Sims Tabak. It was originally published in 1999 and was a National Jewish Book Award winner in 1999. And it was also a Caldecott Medal recipient in the year 2000. So this story features Joseph, a Jewish farmer who has a striped overcoat. And eventually the overcoat begins to wear out, and then he makes it into a small jacket, which then wears out, and then he makes it into a vest, and so on, and eventually it becomes a button. The lesson or moral of the story is even if you think you have nothing, you can always make something out of nothing. The book was also recognized for its beautifully placed die cuts and rich colors in the illustrations. I think this book would be excellent for any children's multicultural collection because of its morals and reflection on Yiddish culture. The story is actually based on a Yiddish folk song called I Had a Little Overcoat, and that was one of Tabak's favorite songs as a child. I feel that this story captures the importance of imagination in children as well as holds on to ideas and identities of Jewish culture and history. So the last book I want to discuss is The Lion Seeker by Kenneth Bonnert. It was published in 2013 and it won the National Jewish Book Award for debut fiction that same year. The JBC's website provides a pretty detailed summary that I've included here, but the book is essentially about a young boy of a poor Lithuanian Jewish family who migrates to South Africa to escape the Holocaust. JBC also mentions how Bonnert has much charm in the language in the book, with many different languages used. I think that The Lion Seeker would be an exceptional addition to a multicultural collection specifically for adult fiction because of its variety of language, perspectives of Jewish family migration during the Holocaust, and illustrating the hardships of building a life that rejects your own culture. So I hope you've enjoyed my presentation on the National Jewish Book Awards, and I hope maybe you will consider picking up the books I discussed if you haven't read them already. Thank you for watching.